I recently watched a video of an ex-stripper revealing her 9 dirty tricks on how she gets any man to do anything. And she was sharing this with her female audience. So I thought, damn, I need to reveal these things for my audience of guys primarily so that you guys can protect yourself from the manipulation of some of these women. And these things, these 9 things, some of them will blow your mind. So keep watching because this is going to be a good video. And like I said, this is from an ex-stripper revealing the 9 dirty little things she does to manipulate men. All right, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Kane. I'm the Silver Bachelor. This channel is 100% dedicated to dating advice for older guys. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and the notification button because I'm dropping videos every week. Woo! Okay, let's get into this video. So the ex-stripper, her name is Vixen Katya, all right? And she revealed the 9 tricks that she uses to get any man to do anything. All right, so let's get into this video. And like I said, these are the 9 things that she said, and I'm going to have a commentary for every one of them. So the first thing she said is stop giving a fuck about them. She said, you don't love them, and if they were the one for you, they'd chase you. Stop giving them the power that they do not have, okay? So this was what she said and the advice she's giving to these women that are watching. Well, little does she realize that us guys have way more power than women. In fact, women only have one power over men, and that's sex. You remove that, they got nothing, okay? So I encourage you guys to also have a I don't give a fuck attitude, not get emotionally attached with women because you don't love them. And especially if you think you're in love with them, you need to remove that from your conscience because you need to be dating somebody at least a year to a year and a half to even consider thinking that you're in love with this person, all right? So that's number 1. She says, stop giving a fuck about men, basically. Number 2, projecting, okay? She said, a man's brain may obsess over you because you are their fantasy girl. So project that fantasy onto men. And yes, men can fall victim to this and be easily manipulated if you're his fantasy girl for sure. I see this all the time with passport bros, right? They're like, oh my God, she's amazing. But you guys, one of the things you need to work on is controlling that second head you've got, okay? Because it's all trickery, right? At the end of the day, women are looking for somebody to protect them, to provide for them, and to lead them, all right? And when it comes to passport bros, these women are basically just interested in the money or potential green card. That's it at the end of the day. Money for them and money for all of their families. And it's no different than dating in North America, right? If you don't have things to bring to the table as a guy, she's very conditional. She's out the door. And those things that basically women are looking for is, like I said, those 3 things. You're a provider, you're a protector, and you are a leader, okay? So that's number 2 is she says projecting. Number 3, she talks about approval. She says most men have low self-esteem and need approval about their looks, money, balding, etc. And this is a huge weakness of men, okay? That is true. I've seen this myself with videos with these passport bros, talking about passport bros again, so where they go to the Philippines or Thailand, for example, and the women are grabbing their arm and the women are saying, oh, you're so handsome. And the man is not handsome. The man is fat and ugly, let's just say. And he's wearing Crocs or he's wearing sandals and he just looks like shit. He's dressed like shit and his body looks like shit. But he starts to believe that, oh, wow, maybe she does think I'm handsome. Dude, you're not handsome, okay? No matter what the woman says, it's not going to change what you actually look like. And she's just saying those things to manipulate you, okay? Women are masters at this. They are so good at it, okay? And we all fall for compliments, all of us. Even a woman who's not attractive and you say, oh, I like your hair or whatever, she gets all. But women are the masters of manipulating men because men seek approval because of their low self-esteem. So, yep, that is a good one, but you guys need to be aware of the trickery that these women use on you. Number 4 is she says to stop chasing men. She says, all you have to do is take care of yourself. She says, this works, and men are sheep. Even if you're desperate for money, do not chase. So this is the difference. Okay, most of the men that are chasing women are betas. You know why? Because alphas prioritize themselves and betas prioritize women. Also, no man has ever lost women chasing money, but every man has lost money chasing women. And so when she says to stop chasing men, I understand to a point, but if you are indoctrinated with the realities of dating and what women are actually like, and if you just keep watching more of my videos, and you'll learn how to flip the script on them so that they're doing the chasing. And really, one of the ways you flip the switch is to not giving a fuck and not thinking with the second head and going, wait a minute, I don't need her in my life. It's cool. We're hanging out, but I'm not going to chase. I'm not going to send her too much. I'm not going to give her too much attention. I'm not going to text her all day, every day. I'm not going to say good morning every day, good evening every night. I'm not going to, accept her canceling plans on me or blowing me off, and you ask her out and it's 2 weeks in advance and she says, oh, I'm not sure. Can I get back to you? Like, what do you mean get back to me? What the hell is wrong with you? Anyways, so that's why when she says to stop chasing men, and that you have to do the same as stop chasing women. Number 5 is, this goes back to her first point of not giving a fuck. She says, take it or leave it. She said, here is my price for a dance or conversation. And this works primarily, I'm speaking on behalf of a lot of strippers and a lot of men, that this would work on a lot of men with low self-esteem, where the woman comes up to you and says, this is my price. I'm going to give you an example. For my work, right? One of the things I do is organize trade shows. And we're going to Vegas pretty soon for one of our biggest trade shows. And I'm hiring showgirls. Those showgirls need to be dressed tastefully, even though I like all the feathers and things. But the showgirls, all they're going to do is they're going to escort our guests and show them where the elevator is on the main floor. And then an hour later, they're going to go upstairs to the main party area, which is the rooftop. And they're going to walk around and allow the guests to take photos with them. That's it. Well, would you believe this? So for 4 hours, would you believe this? A lot of the quotes I got back were women that wanted $500 to $1,000 for 4 hours. I'm like, I know how much I charge when I DJ, and that's more money than me actually doing something, providing way more value. But this is the mindset of a lot of these women, where they just have this take it or leave it attitude. And okay, it might serve some women well, but how are you going to put food on the table? And a lot of women don't know how to do that. They don't know how to earn their way up. Okay, they just go out, say their price, and maybe this will work in the stripping environment, but in a lot of other environments, this doesn't work so good unless you're actually, you know, using your body as leverage. But in most cases, women can't just come along and say, yeah, this is my price, and actually get clients that way if they're not using their body. Okay, that's what I'm trying to make. So this whole take it or leave it attitude, sure, it may apply to a stripper, but other than that, yeah, good luck with that one. So men, though, on the other hand, have to have a take it or leave it attitude. It's like, oh, I have these hobbies. I have this job. I don't have hair in my head. Well, I don't say that, but they see it. And I have a take it or leave it attitude. This is my life. You're going to come into my life and complement it. But as soon as you complicate it, that's it. And I lay the law down right away at the very beginning of these relationships that I start. So number 6, talking about relationships, is she says you have to be willing to walk away. And if you do, they'll start chasing you, even if you are desperate and low value. Which I get this, but this only works on the thirsty men and the beta men. Okay, the alpha men go, okay, bye, there's the door. I remember one time I had a date. She came over. We were starting to get intimate, and out of the blue, and we'd gone out maybe 3-4 times at this point. I thought things were going well because we started the evening earlier. She's back at my place. We're kind of getting it on the couch. And out of the blue, she gets up and says, I have to leave. And she just left, pulled her pants up and leaves. Did I chase her? Hell no. Did I text her? No. Did I text her the next day? No. Did I text her the next day, the next day, the next day? No. Zero. I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, what the hell? Okay, fine, go. And what happened? 3, 4 days later, she texts me and she says, I'm so sorry for my behavior. I didn't mean to do that. I should have been more upfront about just in the moment. I had a gummy and I didn't tell you, blah, blah, blah. But she came back because I had this take it or leave it attitude. I'm like, okay, fine, go. So I encourage you guys to be the same way, all right, in terms of being willing to walk away or let her walk away. Number 7, perceived value. She says everything is perception. Luxury brands are not worth $4,000, $5,000 for a handbag. This is very true. This is why I encourage you guys to build up your perceived social status, okay? And you can do a number of things to increase your value and have perceived value by perceived social status. One of those easy things you can do right away the next time you go out is wear a loud shirt, blazer, or jacket. I'm talking something that's with sequins, some kind of cool leather jacket, or something that's flashy that very few men would dare to wear. As soon as you wear something like that, first of all, you're going to be noticed. Second, keep it tasteful. Second, you are going to be seen as high status by women because what, excuse me, what man would dare wear something like that? And the last time I wore a sequence shirt, I had 12 compliments in the same restaurant over the span of about an hour from a very attractive women. I just wasn't in the mood to get phone numbers because my friends are around and all that stuff, and I didn't want it to look awkward and weird. But I had 12 different women, guests in the restaurant, servers in the restaurant, bartenders, didn't matter. 12 came up to me, and I was like, damn. So this happens every single time I wear something ridiculous, shiny, flashy, perceived social status and perceived value. Okay. Number 8 is she says, do not ever in caps, be readily available for a man. No changing plans for a man. And mostly this is true, but not in a relationship is what I made a note about this. So I suggest you do the same thing. Don't ever be readily available for a woman, and do not change your original plans for a woman in the early dating phase, okay? You have to establish that, hey, I've got boundaries, I've got value, and most importantly, I have high self-esteem. All right, last point, number 9, is she says, keep your individuality. You have hobbies and interests, and I agree with this. So men start to lose themselves in relationships and dating, and they stop pursuing their hobbies. I DJ. I have this YouTube channel, all right? And I ride a hyper scooter, and that's just a couple things that I do, and I might create new YouTube channels. So you need to ultimately have, I don't give a fuck. This is my life. You're coming into my life, cool. But if you don't like it, then find your way out the door. All right, hope you liked this video. Let me know if there's anything else you've heard from strippers, because I'd like to see you in the comments. Otherwise, have yourself a great rest of your day.